welcome to this brand new video. I am in a rush. Today we're going to interview the one and only americanixx.
Hello.
So americanixx is the Grand Marshal of the entirety of GAR. That is a big role to hold and something that can be a little difficult. So americanixx, what is your history with GAR?
Okay, so it all started back in 2020, early 2020. I played the game for the first time around there, but I didn't take interest into joining anything because I was in another group. Um, a little bit afterwards, when I actually played the game for the second time, I found interest in the mechanics of the game, and I saw a divisional patrol. I forgot what division it was, but it's what led me to join the Discord and then do my own little search for like to see how the group worked. When I figured out it was pretty similar to the way my other group worked, I took interest in it, especially because it was Star Wars related. So I joined the 327th tryout, thinking it was a 7th Sky Corps tryout, and I passed it. And then when I noticed I was in the Star Corps, I'm like, oh, I joined the wrong division, whatever. And that's what marked the beginning of my career inside 327. That was in I want to say May 2020. Afterwards I ranked up. I was a Foxtrot company sergeant. That was the first staff position I earned. And I worked my way up and I became a trooper minor officer, which is like the equivalent of a company executive. um I worked my way up. I believe it was either Trooper Company Commander for 327th or First Platoon Company Commander. I think it was First Platoon, which is modern day K Company. Um, After that, I rose up to the head officer, which is like SXO, and then Commander Davis, and then Commander Bly. I made a lot of friends along the way in 327th. It's my home division. It always be my home division. My go-to place, my number one home. I have a lot of friends over there still, and I'm very close with the community in it as well. Fast forward, as Commander Bly, I joined the Officer Corps in around, I want to say September, no, not September, like August or September, yeah, of 2023. I passed it, the Officer Academy. At the time, Vyrexa was up there, Howard, not Dispatch, um, Zalavar, a lot of old names back then. Um, I rose up in OC. I liked the way it operated. I hosted events for GAR, and I became a C1 in like 8 months. So my time as an officer was pretty short. It was about 8 months until I became a high com member. Once I became high com member, it was a lot steadier, like in there. C1 to C2 and then to C3 under Sky, and then I became C4. In I forgot the exact date of when I became C4. I believe it was March of 2024 though. And yeah, I've been C4 since then.
I see. You said earlier that you originally wanted to join 7-Star Corps, but you got into the wrong tryout and ended up in 327th. Did you had any idea of like wanting to go back there to 7th or no?
No, actually, after a while, I ended up liking the Star Corps a lot. The yellow, the morphs at the time, the community at the time, it was very unique. So I'm very glad that I chose 327th. I don't know how 7th was at the time, but all I know is 327th, for me, it was like something that I would never regret, like going into. So yeah, I also forgot to mention I was 41st company sergeant for a while, but that was like during the time I was an officer, like a junior officer, a captain, major. Uh, yeah, that was when I was in 41st. After 327th, I went to 41st. But no, I don't regret 327th ever. I would choose it again if I had the opportunity to.
You told me earlier that you was Commander Bly in 327th and staff What does even staff in 327th do?
Um, so 327th CO staff, Commander Bly, basically runs the division of 327th as a whole. That includes all four companies and trooper company. Uh, the CO of the division just is only focusing on general oversight. So they're the ones that are going to be on top of your SXO, XO, and company commanders, while they let everyone else under them handle the division itself. They basically just oversee how the division runs itself. That's the easiest way I can put it. But as a CO, it's also very important to have a good standing with your community and being very interactive with everyone. A great CO is very involved with a lot of stuff, like everything in the division, trooper stuff, company stuff, hosting wide patrols, being present. That's what leaves a good example to the public. But a lot of the stuff that a CO does, and XO and SXO, is like it's in the back. Like you don't, no one really sees it in public. It's very similar to being a GAR Highcom member. Nothing you really, everything you usually do, or like most of the stuff that you do, isn't public. So SXO, XO, and CO, they run the handbooks. They make sure everything's updated, but they also have to take care of like the rules. They have to take care of um, reports. They have to take care of quota checks. They have to take care of maintaining the division, the order in the division. If the division's getting too mature, then the upper high com of the division are going to be the ones who have to like find a way to, cut it down. Or if there's an activity war or an event, the upper high com of the division is usually the one that would plan and perform a ways to, get the division involved on stuff they want the division getting involved, such as, let's say, the current ongoing activity push that 41st is doing. The top command is the one that is leading that, they're the ones organizing, like, oh, hey, let's make a 24-hour patrol. They're not the ones hosting it, but they're the ones who are encouraging it. So the same thing can be said for 327th Upper High Com. It's a lot of encouragement, a lot of saying like, "Oh, we should do this," and also a lot of steering the direction of the division. That was at least what I did when I was CO of 327th.
If you would rate your activity inside of 327th from 1 to 10, how high would it be?
From the point I got the minor officer to the point where I was the executive officer of 327th, I rated my activity a high 9. However, Commander, when I was a CO, Commander Bly, I would rate my activity in 327th about a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, really. Reason being, when I was Commander Bly, it was a more difficult time in my life, and it was also like a lot going on. So thankfully, I had Mr. Jacobs Q, Eager, Zircon, Ibrolian. They were like the ones in charge of 327th while I was missing. I have a lot. I have other company commanders I can't like think at the top of my head, um, and I thank them so much too. But my activity when I was CO, it was pretty It was staggering. Like I did stuff. I did a lot of stuff, but I was also covered like a lot. Like a lot of my XO and my SXO, they covered a lot of stuff for me too. So I don't want to say I was maintaining the same activity I had as an SXO when I was a CO, but I was active. I was present, and I was there when they needed me.
Around how long was you Commander Bly?
Ooh, how long was I Commander Bly? I want to say I was Commander Bly for about a year, maybe less than a year. Completely honest, I don't know the top of my head, but I remember being Commander Bly for the majority of 2022. Yeah, I might be wrong on that one. I don't know the exact date, the exact time frame that OCO, but it was between 6 to 9 months.
Alright, you told me that you were GAR staff and GAR Highcom. So, what things did you do as a second lieutenant, for example?
Okay, so straight out of OA, right when I passed away, I passed my officer on trial stage. I became O1. Nothing really. The only things I would do were host, because that's all I could do as an O1 was just host. So back then there was only general trainings, combat trainings, and SSUs. Like I'm pretty sure that was all there was. There was no such thing as invasions, no raids, no physical trainings, no Citadel challenges, none of that. It was simply just GTs, CTs, and SSUs. So that's what I would focus on as an O1.
When you came up to a major, what like changed with you?
Okay, so from an O1 to a major, O4, it pretty big bump right there. That jump right there. Actually, I did end up joining a lot of stuff. Between my time from O1 to O4, I did join the TOT team, but only very briefly. I'd say I was in TOT for like a week, just because it was the only department that I could join at the time. Um, Somewhere along the time between that O1 to O4, I did end up joining the Officer Academy. I became an instructor, and then I did also join the admin team. The administrative team, just a team that focuses on reports and appeal server. So those were my two main departments that I was in as a Gale officer. Yeah, that's it. I don't know exactly what rank I was at the time I was a major. I want to say maybe for admin team I was some senior rank, and then for OA I was also some senior rank. But I don't know for sure what I was when I was in 04 in those departments. All I know is that I wasn't.
Alright, we're not going to do another big jump. That is to battalion commander when you became that.
For battalion commander, it was a yeah, you're right. It was a big jump. I was still an admin team and an OA. An admin team, I became the head admin, so basically like the big boss. But I was also like a leadership in OA. My time in admin, I did some reforms, made some changes, um, and made it more clear for officers how it would work, how they would earn their benefits from it. That was like one of my accomplishments in admin. However, I want to say that when I was a C1 at that time, I probably retired from the admin team and I just focused on OA. I became superintendent of the OA. So, same thing in OA. We restructured the officer academy. We made a few changes here and there. It wasn't the same. It was a completely different academy by the time I became superintendent, but I was also with the help of Sky, who was the overseer at the time. And yeah, C1, I was also the overseers of 41st and Bark. By the time I became C1, I was a company sergeant in Zeus, but then when I became C1, I got bumped to overseer 41st. And I want to say like those were like some really fun times when I had 41st and Bark, because I would be very engaged with the HICOM team. I had them give me reports on each company. I had them give me the reports on the division itself. Gave them a lot of advice, and I also attended a lot of their events for both groups. 41st was really fun to hang out with. So was Bark. I remember having a lot of like leeway with them in patrols and stuff. Giving them speeders, giving them weapons, causing chaos in private servers. Those were good times. But yeah, that's basically my time as a C1. That's what I did as a C1.
Now is your own time when you're now Grand Marshal. What you are going to do now?
Okay, as a C4 Grand Marshal, basically jumping from just overseeing 41st and Bark to overseeing everything. The same duties as an overseer, except I wasn't involved in divisions. I was no longer the one giving advice or the one asking for reports on a company or a division. But instead, I'm the one asking the C2s and C1s to give me reports on the division or tell me, like how are they doing with the division? How's the division doing? But also, how is the officer corps doing? How is every department doing? Does this department need assistance? Does this department need our support or like our guidance? Is this department faltering or falling behind? And there's 5 departments. There's TOT, there's CET, there's admin team, there's OA, and there's the external affairs server. But now there's also Special Operations Brigade, and there's also the TRJ that's back. At C4, I was able to steer the creation of the Special Operations Brigade along with Knowing Loser too. We both started that, the SOB. and we have that sort of ability to like start off stuff like that. That's basically what I did as a C4. I just overseeing everything and also um, jump starting stuff, creating new stuff, making new rules, making announcements, clearing up rules. Um, it's very fun. It's very fun.
What is your long goal in Gar staff and Gar icon?
Well, recently I became a staff intern, blueprint staff intern. So now I have the same access I have in GAR, and I have it in TSU. Long term goal for GAR though is to make sure that the direction of the game itself, Coruscant, is heading into a proper direction. Not just that, divisions um, are always going to. I feel like divisions are always going to persevere. Some divisions might falter from time to time, but I just want to make sure that there's a stable, like, I want to make sure Guard remains stable for a longer period of time. So whenever I can, I go to Rainy Lo-Fi or go to Viking with suggestions on like maybe this or that. Any type of suggestion, community suggestion or development suggestion, I think the community itself wants. I also want to further expand on clanning stuff for Gar. That's also one of my goals as staff and as a staff intern or potential blueprint staff, because I feel like the clanning community and the clanning world is very vast and it could benefit Gar a lot.
So I heard that once you become staff or maybe Gar Highcom, you get access to some admin commands. Could you show me some of them?
Sure. There's a lot of commands. I'd say like probably beyond 50, and each of them have something unique. We have the ability to reserve private servers in either Coruscant, Camino, or Battlegrounds. We have the ability to give tools such as lightsabers, guns, swords, or miscellaneous tools as well, like maybe a flamethrower, grappling hooks too, such as right here I can just give myself a cable hook. I can give myself a admin minigun, which is extremely overpowered, and a lot of Highcom love using this weapon, like just to mess around. We also have like maybe a band hammer, which is like a very exclusive tool. If I swing this at you, you would go flying at like Mach 1.
Could you try to
Um,
show me?
sure. Let me just make sure I have TK on. Are you ready to go flying?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, man. Have fun.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's a lot of tools like that. We also have the ability to assign forces, bring people. I can tap VIP right now if I wanted to, so let me just do that. Let me give you a radius of 10. So you can see you're a VIP now, and you have your own radius that extends 10 studs. I'm like going around it. We have perks like that. There's a lot of our perks. I can give myself every perk in the game. Um, Divisional perk, class perk, whatever there is, I give myself. And also we have vehicles. We can give ourselves any vehicle, a speeder, a sleigh, name it,
I
and
see.
speed myself. I can even jump power you. Hey, let me jump power you. That's the last thing I'll do. All right, jump.
Whoa! 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 What?
And yeah,
That's way too high. I don't know even
exactly.
where I am. Oh no no! I'm falling! I'm falling! I'm falling!
I see. Yeah, that's basically it. I can give myself a shield. I can give the division shields. Perks to bash. We usually do that. When I do mini games with divisions, that's what I usually do. I like bring them to like this flat platform outside of the map, and we start playing like avoid the vehicle. So I go with my vehicle and I crash into people, and you know how if I crash into you, you go flying, like
Yeah.
you get hit like that. So we did it on the platforms outside of bounds, and we play mini games out there. Like, oh, last one to live, or like whoever survives wins, like extra EP or extra power or whatever, from time to time.
From time to
And
time.
yeah, that's what we do. That's like a very very basic um, explanation of what we do with commands. There's a lot more we could do, but for the sake of time, it's like the sneak peek. All right. So one of the places that we go to, let me speak myself faster. There we go. Oh, faster, I guess. There we go. And now I don't know where I am.
It looks like a castle.
Oh, where is this map? I cannot find the map. I think we lost it. We're gonna have to reset. There we go. All right, so this right here, this is one of the places we go to. So you can
Alright.
see, I hop on my speeder. Imagine there's like 50 people, like 30 people, a divisional patrol, a mass patrol. We do games here where like I go around my speeder and I start knocking people off of my speeder
Oh
like
no!
that, and I've gotten really good at that too.
Is there some few Easter eggs left behind by the developers? Or
There's one that I can think of right now, and I'm pretty sure it's like probably the only one. We should add more, but if I'll bring you to it. But if you come here to the cafe, head inside the cafe. This taco right here has Sky's avatar on it.
I see.
It's
So,
supposed to be like a reference to a Sky's taco stand or something that never came to Gar
mm-hmm.
and stuff like that.
Would you ever try to add your own Easter eggs if you had the chance to do it?
I probably would. We have a jetpack for Sky. It's like a Sky jetpack. I'm not wearing it, but it's like a red jetpack. I don't know if you can buy it still in the jetpack shop. There's an American jetpack, but it's just the Captain America shield. It's not really me. It's just Captain America.
I see. So, americanixx, thank you for making me interview you.
And thank you for inviting me. I had a lot of fun actually, and uh, a lot of good memories that I got to reminisce right there.
Alright. Do you have anything else to tell to the people who are watching?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe to In a Rush. He actually has some really good questions. His videos, and he's actually like voice acting it, or he actually uses voice. He doesn't use AI slap, so that's a pretty good. I like that a lot. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you guys.
Alright. Bye bye, guys.